Came across this maniac at the shoppers. He's pacing back and forth.
Earthquake is fine. Earthquake is fine. It's debuff.
Earthquake? There's no earthquake.
It's fine. It's fine. How did he get to that?
He's pacing back and forth.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah! Yeah! Yes!
You look crazy, man.
It's fine. It's fine. Rank 10. Rank 10 here at 2 a.m. in front of shoppers. Hair reveal. Hair reveal for all the subs. Get the hair reveal here. The lunatic, the mask.
Yeah.
Rank 10 right here.
Congrats, buddy.
Thank you.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we do upload daily PvP content, so please consider subscribing to the channel if that is of interest to you. And if you're a returning subscriber like Reese Powell, thank you for the support. Hope I said your name right, by the way. So we did finally make rank 10. It took until the last day to do it, but we did make rank 10. Man, it was one heck of a grind. It's pretty crazy to think that it happened because 4 days ago I had dropped down to 2,500 and I was starting to think that, you know, maybe I didn't really have a chance, but within those 4 days I literally went up from like 2530 all the way up to where I am now, which is about 3070. I want to give a big shout out to the AsianMilkMan and Arrohh for this team build because I got it from watching their Twitch stream. Now, I don't know them personally, but they seem like great guys, obviously. The only difference between my team and theirs is that Arrohh runs Dynamic Punch on the Medicham with Ice Punch, and the Milkman runs Psychic and Ice Punch. Now, when I was building this team, I decided that I would make one change, and this wasn't in my last video. The last video I didn't have this change, and basically this involved getting rid of Ice Punch. I'm not sure how necessary it was with Dewgong on the team. Power Up Punch with counter does so much damage sometimes, especially against like those steel types, and a lot of times when I show Power Up Punch first, people will not expect me to have Psychic with it. They always expect Ice Punch. So because of that, I actually sometimes hit a Psychic with like 2 or 3 power up punch boosts, almost one shots in a zoom roll. It's pretty crazy. Shout out to all of you for the support through this entire journey, and let's just get right into the battles right now. So this match right here against Ace Trainer Praj, and at this time I was running Dewgong in the lead still. So we see a Machamp lead, and obviously this is really bad for us. So what I'm gonna do here actually is I'm thinking like I can't really bring a Munchlax into Machamp, and I sort of need to save the Medicham in case he does have a steel type in the back. So I'm just gonna sack the Dewgong here, hope to at least get off an Icy Wind. And you can see there, things are not looking good because we didn't get the shield. So I bring in the Medicham and he switches out thankfully into Cresselia. So now I can bring in Munchlax. And basically at this point, I don't really need to win switch advantage because there is no switch to be made. I have Medicham, he's already seen it. So I don't have to worry about that. What I have to focus on here is just getting rid of this Medicham, or at least this Cresselia rather, and just bring it down as low as possible because I really do not want my Medicham to go against that. I know Medicham can handle the Machamp. Neither Rock Slide or Cross Chop are going to do anything to it. So it's really going to come down to what he has in the back. And if I could bring in that Medicham against the Machamp and just power up punch to boost my attack, maybe I could beat that third Pokemon. So as you can see there, we do beat the Cresselia, and I actually switch out, fortunately, into the Medicham here, and we catch this Cross Chop. See, it doesn't do much, and I go for the power up punch right away because if he shields or not, it doesn't really matter to me, but I just need to power up my counter damage. He does give us the shield, which is amazing, and we farm down because of that boost to counter, and he has a Registeel in the back. So at this point, I'm ecstatic. I'm like, okay, this is perfect. Get the shield again, so he probably assumes we're in Dynamic or something. I have 2 shields. That game is over. We take it. GG. And things are looking good. Next match against Pogon TV. And this is another match where I'm leading Dewgong. And we face a Stunfisk. Now, Pogon TV is a Twitch streamer. I check out his Twitch sometimes. Really good streamer. And this is going to be a great match. So I lose the lead, obviously. So I try to switch into Munchlax to catch the Rock Slide. But very heads up play on his part to not throw it. And he saves up for the Earthquake. So a little bit unfortunate, and I didn't want to shield that. So now I'm throwing the Body Slam here. And Meganium versus Munchlax is kind of hard. Munchlax could win, but usually not with this kind of like health advantage. However, at this point I'm throwing my second body slam. And when I see that he actually lets the second body slam go through here, I know I can win switch advantage as long as I use both shields. And switch advantage is much more important in this matchup than shields because Medicham could beat the Stunfisk. So I decide to commit both shields. I am going to go down 2 shields and I still need to lick down here for the farm down. We do get to it. Now we have a charge move ready. I expect the Stunfisk to come back in. So I will throw the Bulldoze. It is dry on energy. The main problem here is that I'm in farm down range, which is not good at all. So that's not optimal obviously, but I do throw the Bulldoze. We get the shield. But as you can see, he's coming to the farm down, which is the correct play on his part. And now I'm going to bring in the Medicham. I have no shields, remember. But neither of his moves are going to KO, obviously. Earthquake will hurt, but I'm okay with this. He hits us with the Earthquake. And I'm going to go for the power-up punch here. And I expect him to switch out at some point, but it depends on what he has in the back. So there's the switch into his Zoom Roll. And I honestly think I made a mistake there, possibly. I should have probably thrown the Psychic first. And I think, had I thrown the Psychic, I could have definitely had won this game. So I think that was a mistake there, because I would have beat him to the Psychic 100%, and it was boosted by 1 power punch already. And he probably wouldn't shield, because he probably expected Ice Punch, who knows. But I do bring the Dewgong. This is still a great matchup for us here. And I sped it up obviously because it's pretty straightforward. We're just going to go straight Icy Wind. He's going to throw either Play Rough, Hydro Pump, whatever he has. We're going to win that. Now I know he's going to switch into the Stunfisk here. He's over farming, so am I. And I have the switch ready, but I'm too late. So it's hard to guess what he's going to throw because he wasn't going to throw his energy. So now I switch into Medicham. The Dewgong did survive the Rock Slide, but this is not optimal because he has so much energy and he has the shield still. If I was able to catch that Rock Slide with the Medicham, I'm pretty sure this game would have been over and we would have won despite that hard loss in the lead. So as you can see here, even though we lose this game, the way I played it and like had me feeling so positive about this team, like if I could make a game that bad in the lead this close, I could definitely win with this team consistently. So that was my thought process here. But after losing this, I was seeing a lot of fighting types in the lead, so I decided to make a switch. And that's into Medicham in the lead. I'm at 2940 now. I've already dropped over almost 40 points on the day because I started at 2976. So we see a Cresselia lead into Medicham. Did not like that. Switch out. Toxicroak comes in. I'm going to throw the Icy Wind here. Now, the thing about Toxicroak is that if he lets this go through, which he does, we have a chance now to maintain switch advantage, which is huge. So I'm definitely going to shield this up, and I'm hoping he throws Sludge Bomb. Amazing. So now we could definitely get to this Icy Wind, and it depends if he's going to want to shield or not. If he does shield, I'm just going to commit 2 shields. If he lets it go, I'm going to take switch advantage. Boom. We take switch advantage. This is perfect because Cresselia comes in now. And obviously, when I brought in Dewgong, that's not a hard counter to Cresselia. He could have stayed in and beat me with Grass Knot, but Toxicroak was baited out, so that was really good for us. Now I bring in the Munchlax. We are down to shield, but Munchlax versus Cresselia is a pretty good matchup. And honestly, Munchlax is really critical in making this team work and winning the lead. So he brings in Umbreon. I switch into Medicham, obviously. Gonna go for the power-up punches here. Want to get this counter damage really, really high as soon as possible. And the Umbreon is going to throw what I expect to be foul play here. Actually, happens to be a Dark Pulse. So I believe Dark Pulse will do more damage. However, it does require more energy. So that's really good for me because it's going to allow me to get off more counters in between those charge moves. And as you can see here, they are really adding up right now. And this next Dark Pulse actually would probably KO, so I do choose to shield that. And I should be able to commit to a farm down here because it's Dark Pulse and not Foul Play. Foul Play, he would have probably got to 1 more and I might have ended up losing. So here, I'm trying to get the last shield. Go for the Power Punch, we get the shield, that's huge. But I believe my Munchlax has so much energy anyways that this game is pretty much over. Moonblast going to KO. And we are going to go for the lick down. Technically, I guess it kind of made more sense to go for Psychic there because I could only get off 1 charge move, and if he didn't shield, Psychic would have done more damage, especially with all those power punch boosts. So as you can see here, the Cresselia is going to be throwing its energy, but Munchlax is too thick, and the opponent's going to back out. So we start off this set 1-0 despite the unfavorable lead, and next matchup against Rave Master 0825. Medicham into Breloom. Now, this is probably a rank 10 who's just testing it out Spice, and I'm really grateful for this because there were not many people testing things out last night. It was a lot of people fighting to get to rank 10, and you know, I appreciate the rank 10 still battling it out at this point when they really don't need to because they've already got rank 10 and season 3 starts the same day. So he brings in Electivire, super spicy, but as you can see here, this Medicham is going off with the power-up punches, and this is what I'm talking about. Power-up punch is actually so underrated if used in the right manner. I feel like we got rid of the Electivire without it even getting off a charge move, which is crazy. We swept the team pretty much with Medicham there, and I was ecstatic. We're 2-0. Mark Danger, I have battled this trainer a few times now. Very skilled trainer, so I'm very happy to win the lead because I'm probably going to need that to beat him. He switches out into Sableye, and I'm going to bring in the Munchlax here. So I'm very happy that I did this because obviously nothing I would throw at the Medicham would do anything to it. So very happy that I switched quickly there. We do shield that foul play, and I'm building up for the Bulldoze here. Bulldoze is going to do a lot of damage if it goes through. Let's see if he chooses to shield this. Of course he does. So at this point I'm like, damn it, this is not good. I might end up losing Switch now. And I'm starting to think, if I do lose Switch, what am I going to do now? Like, what's my backup plan? Because he has that Registeel. So what I decide is that I'm going to let the Munchlax go down and see if I could maybe farm down with the Medicham if I get it low enough to Sableye. And then he's not going to bring in the Registeel, of course, but maybe whatever he has in the back, I could hit with like a power-up punch Psychic or something. Like, there were a few options here at my disposal. So the main thing here is that we got both shields. That's huge, because once we got both shields, I know that I could just go power-up punch and get off this Psychic against hopefully like an Azumarill or something. So we did it off one power punch. A Meganium comes in. This is amazing. So I'm building up for the power-up punch here. I mean for the Psychic. And I have to shield this because I want to get off this Psychic no matter what. And I needed to get my switch timer to come up as well. So I go for the Psychic here. And he has no shields. Look at how much damage this is going to do. Insane. We're able to win the match against Meganium with the Medicham. And we still have enough now to get that Registeel. So Registeel is going to KO, so I just need to do as much damage as possible. And I'm trying to catch the Flash Cannon here with the Dewgong. Come in, didn't catch the Flash Cannon. This is fine because Focus Blast is not going to KO. And I need to get off this Water Pulse. At this point, I don't care about debuffing its attack with Icy Wind. I need to go for as much damage as possible because it's going to have to throw energy to beat my Dewgong. And then I could just come in with the Medicham and farm it down with counter. So you can see their Water Pulse, that pretty much puts it in the range to get farmed down. The Flash Cannon is going to come through here, or Focus, probably Flash Cannon. And I just bring back in the Medicham. It doesn't have enough energy. We are going to farm down, take that win. 3-0. This is going really good so far. Caesar PD10 in match number 4 of this set. Medicham into Stunfisk. You could see here I am loving the switch into Medicham. I was seeing hard counters for Dewgong everywhere. So I said, you know what, I gotta take a chance. I gotta switch it up. Go for the Medicham. He switches into Deoxys. I'm going to bring in Munchlax. Now, you have to shield the first Thunderbolt to make this match favorable. If it's like a Rock Slide or something, that's fine. But if they go Thunderbolt, it's almost critical that you shield it. So I'm going for the Lick Downs here. Going to throw this Body Slam. I just need to maintain switch advantage, and I'll be in such a good spot here most of the time. So he does choose to shield this. And at this point, Thunderbolt will not KO. And I'm pretty sure I could beat it to Lick Down or get to Body Slam. So we do farm it down. Amazing. So we maintain switch. He brings in Stunfisk. I don't think I'll get to the Bulldoze, so I'm just going for the Body Slam here. Maybe we get Fortune and get a shield. We do not. So good counter on the opponent's part. Now I bring in the Medicham. I have the Power Punch ready. Let's see if he shields this thinking it's a Dynamic Punch. Does not. But even though he doesn't shield, these counters are still going to add up, and that's the beauty of Power-Up Punch in this situation. So Earthquake comes through, that's not going to KO. And when he's not switching out here, I'm starting to think maybe he has a Registeel. So at this point, I'm considering maybe I do want to use my last shield on Medicham if it gets to that point. But because we have Power-Up Punch, we almost KO'd it, we did not. So I assume this to be a Rock Slide, which would not KO. So I don't use my shield. Switches into Meganium, and I'm like, no, this is not good. Meganium with an energy against Dewgong. I need to get to this Icy Wind as soon as possible. So always shield. the first Frenzy Plant. He can't switch out. He's gonna get debuffed. We get off the Icy Wind here before the second Frenzy Plant. That's huge because that means we're going to survive the next Frenzy Plant, but it's still going to be a race to the final Frenzy Plant after this one. So will I get to Icy Wind first, or will I get to Frenzy Plant? Basically, whoever wins that is going to win the game. We get to the Icy Wind, super hyped. I'm 4-0 after this match, 29-40. So if I go 5-0, there's a possibility maybe that I could get 60 points and go to rank 10 right now. So we're facing Janky CS in match number 5, and I get a Medicham into Machamp. This is so good for me. I'm feeling confident right now. I'm like, let's go. Switches into Registeel though. And this gets me thinking because now I'm like, man, I need this Medicham for the Machamp. But at the same time, I also need this Medicham for the Registeel. I debated maybe switching into Munchlax right away, but I couldn't afford to lose the switch advantage. And I decided maybe what I should do is soften it up first with the Medicham, then switch out with a lot of health and bring in the Munchlax. And then because I bring in Munchlax, he'll be tempted to basically bring in the Machamp after the farm down. The problem is I get hit with the Focus Blast here, which isn't necessarily a problem actually because it gives the Machamp less energy to farm up, now that I think about it. So that actually probably was a good idea. But I'm going to be switch blocked after into that Medicham match, and he could switch out into a hard counter if he has it. You can see my switch timer still has about like maybe 20 seconds. So I need to bring this switch timer as low as possible right now, so that when I bring in the Medicham, I'm not locked in there for a long time. Because he probably has a hard counter for this. It's a Cresselia. I need to get out of there. So I just throw the Power Up Punch because I want that switch timer to come up. I don't want to have to use a shield or get hit by the Moonblast. There's a switch timer. Bring in Dewgong here. Not optimal, of course, because Grass Knot is still going to hurt. So I do shield this up. And just hoping I could get to the Icy Wind here and debuff this attack. But this is not good because we're a little behind on the switch timer. And part of that is because I wasn't expecting that sort of Registeel Machamp core, which did prove a little bit challenging here, but we're doing what we can. So Grass Knot comes through. You can see with the with the reduced damage here, it isn't doing as much, and we could definitely tank a couple of them. So I throw another Icy Wind. We do get the shield, and this is brutal. This is where that difference in the switch timer plays a big part. Cross Chop comes through. Gotta switch out, but my Dewgong's so low now. So the play here, I have to go for Power Up Punch, and then I have to kind of just build up for the Psychic and hope that works. But at this point, I didn't go for the Power Up Punch, and I decided to farm down. And this is the correct play. But here I make a mistake. I went for Psychic right away. I should have went for the Power Up Punch first, and then Psychic after. The problem was I didn't think I would be able to get to Psychic, but because I got to a second Power Up Punch, I'm pretty sure I would have been able to get to it. We CNP tied pretty much. No, sorry, he farms down, which is the correct play. And now he has energy for the Dewgong in the back. So, well played on his part, understanding the situation. A misplay on my end, not going for the Power Punch, then the Psychic. But aside from that, I thought I played really well. And you can see here we get up to 29-75. So we have 2 sets left. Captain App Crash up next. Medicham into Cresselia, not looking good. I know in this set, a 4-1 will get me to rank 10. So I switch out into Dewgong again. And at this point, I'm either going to let the Dewgong go down, or he's going to switch, right? So at this point, it looks like he's probably going to be staying in with the Cresselia. So I'm just going for Icy Winds here, and I'm okay with this because I'm like, okay, that's fine. But he actually switches out into the Machamp. So I got off the Icy Wind here. Icy Wind, which is going to be huge. And that gets the shield, of course. And I'm not shielding anything here. He could take me down. And then I'm going to bring in the Medicham here. So I'm going to get farmed down, which is unfortunate. But I could bring in the Medicham now. And he is going to throw, probably Rock Slide. Throws Cross Chop. Okay, it doesn't do anything. Neither of their moves are going to do anything. So I farm down here. And now Cresselia comes in. I'm going to switch right away into Munchlax. I'm going to save that energy on the Medicham for the back. And I'm hoping whatever he has will be weak to Medicham. Grass Knot comes through. Munchlax takes that really well. He's staying in this matchup, which makes me think he has something that's not very strong against Munchlax maybe. So maybe it's like a Ghost, but it happens to be a Registeel. So I'm totally cool with this because now I could just go for this Bulldoze and I have a shield left. So this is absolutely amazing for me. I'm gonna let that go through. This is going to KO. I'm gonna let the Munchlax go down here. I could have shielded and saved it for the Cresselia, but I got another plan in mind here. And unfortunately I didn't KO. I'm gonna switch out now. Go for the power up punch right away. You could see I am loaded on energy. So I'm gonna throw this power up punch. And I could have thrown another one and KO'd, but I wanted to kind of save that. So I decided not to shield here, knowing that my Medicham will survive. It's important to understand the matchup. And now I have so much energy. I'm gonna throw this Psychic right away because at this point, it is in range of a boosted Psychic. We knock out the Cresselia. Win that game with the shield in hand after a very unfavorable lead. So GG's there. 56 Luffy, 56 up next. Gonna lead Medicham into Machamp. There were so many Shadow Machamps last night, and it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out going into Season 3. So here, obviously, gonna stay in this matchup. This is a really good matchup for Medicham, and I'm not gonna shield anything because nothing is going to hurt Medicham here. So Cross Chop comes through. I'm gonna try to commit to a farm down. He switches out into the Azumarill. I'm gonna throw the Psychic here. And as soon as I throw the Psychic, I'm going to dip out into Dewgong. I'll either get the shield or a lot of damage. He does shield. Switch into Dewgong here. So I have to be aware now that there's a slight delay in the switch timer between me and him. So I have to be aware of when mine is close to be done and have a charge move ready to throw to make up for that difference in time so I could switch out after once he does. Unless he just lets the Azumarill go down. So once again, I sped it up here because this is very straightforward matchup. Just go Icy Wind, no matter what they throw. Dewgong's going to win every time. No shields have to be used. You just gotta throw the Icy Winds. So here, I was expecting him to switch out. So I actually wasn't throwing. And he's gonna throw the Hatch Pump. Doesn't KO. So now I throw the Icy Wind, but I have close to 2 because I didn't throw anything. Because I knew he wanted to switch out. Here comes the switch. Throw the Icy Wind. This is so clutch right here. Look at how much health my Dewgong has left. That is insane. The Machamp goes down. He didn't want to use the shield and go down 2 shields. Registeel comes in. Oh my goodness. I just bring in the Munchlax here because I could take some damage with it. It's kind of like a sacrifice at this point. Opponent backs out. GG's there. Next match against Mentic and rank 9. So you know we're both pushing for rank 10 here. And I win the lead. This is a huge win actually. Because look at the damage that Melmetal's taking. I'm just throwing the Power Punch right away because I want to get these calendars boosted as soon as possible. And I want him to think that I'm running Power Punch plus Ice Punch, hoping he brings like an Azumarill or something. And I slap it with the Psychic. So you can see here, throws the Rock Slide, does nothing. Bye bye Melmetal. Going to come in with the Hypno. So I'm just going to throw this Psychic here. And I could switch out here, and I think switching out is probably the correct play, but at the same time, I didn't want to give up switch advantage. So I decided I'm going to throw the Power Up Punch here. He might think it's another Psychic, which is really going to hurt, so he does choose to burn the shield. So I'm totally okay with this, and he's going to throw his energy now. So I'm going to let this go down, and I'm going to bring in the Munchlax here. Shows Ice Punch. I don't think he has Focus Blast, so I think we're in a pretty good spot here. I'm going to take whatever this is. Most likely another Elemental Punch. It's an Ice Punch. Not going to do anything to Munchlax. Switches out into Scrafty. Did not like to see this. Kind of wish I saved the Medicham now because neither of these are going to do well. So I switched into Dewgong right away. And my play here is this is going to be a Power Punch. Let it go through. And just use both shields. Try to get this Scrafty as low as possible. I need to burn both shields. So I have to shield everything here, even Power Punches, because they're going to start adding up now. So I throw this Icy Wind, and Icy Wind's going to debuff the attack. So it's almost negating these Power Punch boosts. So it is giving me a chance still to get to this other Icy Wind. I have to shield this. I have to get this last shield. So I'm going to throw the Icy Wind. An amazing switch on his part. But this is going to allow me to come in with the Munchlax down, farm down, which is massive for me. Because now it's a race. He reset his boost on the counter damage. So I beat him to the Body Slam. Absolutely huge win. And at that point, I knew I did it. I was 4-0 in my last set. No, I was 3-0. So I knew I just needed one more win. And here it is. Stunfisk lead. Super hype about this. Bringing the Dewgong. I was too excited. I didn't know if I should throw the Psychic or not. I was too excited about the lead. I know I just need to win one more game and I'm getting rank 10 for sure. So I switch in Dewgong here. And I sped it up because, you know, this match, straightforward, as I've said multiple times in this video, Dewgong is going to win. So I'm going to throw the Icy Winds here. I need to ensure that I maintain switch advantage. If I lag, I'm going to have to use shields. But fortunately last night there wasn't much lag. So Hydro Pump comes through. Going to go for the Icy Wind here. Let's that go through. Now I could just commit to a straight farm down. We'll get hit by one more charge move, but that's totally fine. Here's a Hydro Pump. Farm down. We have a charge move ready here. And I'm just going straight for the nuke here. It's not going to nuke it, but it's going to do a lot of damage. Water Pulse onto the Stun Fisk. Look at that damage. It could farm me down. That's fine. But if it does attempt to farm me down, I'm getting to one more charge move. So here comes the Icy Wind. This is going to debuff the attack now. Things are looking so good. I'm like literally jumping up and down as you saw in the intro. So gonna bring in the Medicham here to catch this. It's an Earthquake. Reduced damage doesn't even do half at this point. Switches into the Cherrim. I was not expecting to see a Cherrim here. So this caught me a little off guard. Gonna throw the Power Punch. We do get the shield. And remember, he's probably thinking of running Ice Punch. So I bring in the Munchlax here now. I have 2 shields. There's no way I could lose this. And my thinking here is he's going to throw Weather Ball. There's no way you go for the nuke right away when I have 2 shields. He does. So, you know, it was a guessing game. He got me good. And now I'm like, damn it, I can still win this because Bullet Seed's not going to KO. I just need to, like, be smart here. So I got both shields. And Weather Ball is going to come through. I have to shield this. His switch timer is almost up. But I couldn't tell how close it was because I'm looking at mine. It still seems a little far away. I was thinking this is a CMP tie for sure, right? Apparently it's not, so he switches on to Stun Fisk. I was fuming at this point. Like, how is that not a CMP tie? So he brings back in the Cherrim, race to the Body Slam. Technically it's not really a race because he has to get to 2 in order to knock out the Dewgong in the back. So we end up taking that. I'm 4-0 at this point. I know unless there's some crazy stuff going on, I am definitely reaching rank 10. Haribo second in the last match. Medicham into Bastiodon.
Oh, Bastiodon 5-0, baby.
Very accurate of the true feelings at the moment. So he brings in Marowak. I am so excited at this point. I throw a Power Punch by this is the worst play ever. Nothing I threw at it would hurt. Bring in Munchlax, which is going to wall Marowak because Bone Club doesn't do much. Shadow Ball is not doing anything. This is almost as good as seeing a Haunter. Obviously not that good, but or Haunter with Sludge Bomb still pretty bad. But this is amazing to see in this moment. We see the Bastiodon come in, met by the Marowak, and I was throwing energy. Then I realized I don't have to throw anything. I can just lick down here. So I calmed down my nerves, and I committed to the straight lick down here. Bone Club's gonna come through. That's fine. Not gonna KO the Munchlax. Gonna have so much energy here. Let's see what he brings back in. He actually chooses to go into Zoom Roll, so I guess he didn't want to get hit by that Bulldoze onto the Bastiodon, but we have a lot of energy here, and he's going to be taking these Body Slams. And it looks like he's committing to a farm down. So I'm going to get to 3 Body Slams here, and that's going to put this Zoom Roll so low. And at this point, honestly, just got to bring in the Dewgong, and that is enough for the opponent. Backs out. We go 5-0 in the final set, and we reach rank 10 in style. 9-1 in our last 2 sets. Man, this was so hype. Like I was really excited at the time. Get a Tepig there, and there it is. Rank 10. Went up almost 60 points to 30-32. Did my next set after this for the Pikachu Libre, and we did go 4-1 in that set, so I went up close to 30-70, and honestly this was just an amazing journey throughout. So there it is, rank 10. It took until the final day, but we did finally reach it. It feels even sweeter to reach it after having the same situation last season where I got to 2980 on the final day and I just choked completely. Almost thought it was gonna happen again this season, but I was just so confident with this team. Honestly, it was just an amazing experience throughout. I could speak from experience about not having reached rank 10 before in season 1, and I know a lot of you might have fallen short this season. It's not that important in reality. Reaching rank 10 doesn't say anything about your skill as a trainer. Like, obviously you have skill if you reach rank 10, but just because you doesn't mean you're not a skilled trainer. There are plenty of trainers who don't reach rank 10. When I didn't reach rank 10 last season, I didn't think less of me as a battler. I still knew I was capable of reaching rank 10. It just wasn't in the cards this season. I had made some mistakes maybe, but it didn't mean that I couldn't improve and become better. And I think that's the most important thing. At the end of the day, we're just tapping our phones, right? I do get stressed about it sometimes, but it's not really worth that stress. You guys should continue to be motivated to reach rank 10. Work towards your goals for season 3. That's the thing. If you don't reach it this season, there's always next season. Just keep progressing to become better, and you will eventually get there, believe me. So once again, I just want to thank every single one of you for supporting me throughout this journey. Thank you for watching all the videos, commenting, providing suggestions, feedback. I appreciate every single one of you, and your support has helped me to reach rank 10 for sure. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.